I sincerely apologize. Okay, here we go. I guess we're just gonna have to start. All right. Okay. Well, everybody, thank you for jumping in today. No, there's not. No. At least one thing worked today. Unfortunately, not. Site captions is not. The stream. Back on the stream. What that means, you can't afford paid captions yet. Till today, didn't have an issue. This website. All right. Well, hello guys. Welcome again. I know this isn't the exact thing I was expecting. I was supposed to have captions today, closed captions, and for some reason, my website that I use for captions is not recognizing my microphone today. It's PubNub, and I don't know what's going on. It just won't recognize, and no matter how much I try to enable my microphone, it still won't recognize my microphone. So I'm not sure what else I can do. I don't think there is anything else I can do. If they suddenly start working, I can praise to whoever and go on with the show like that. But unfortunately, it's not wanting to work at all. So I'm really disappointed with that today. I'm so sorry. Because I advertised to have closed captions, so it's more accessible to people at work and to people of hard of hearing. It especially is helpful since we have our accents here. But I will look for other options now, I think, to find ways to get captioning.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and get started then. Today, what we're going to do, Hill is going to be teaching us. He's a professional and competitive miniature painter that gives classes and owns his own game store here in Mexico City. And he comes here every Monday to teach me classes, and I thought I would go ahead and share it to the world on Twitch and let everybody learn with me and join me in this class.
Yeah, that's right.
So pretty much what that is a free painting class for you.
That's
so what we're trying to do now is we're going to be painting the Nolzur's Frost Giant miniature, and we're finishing up getting any seam lines off of them. We taught in the last class how to take off seam lines and how to take off the mold lines, and that's what we're working on now, is getting those mold lines off so we can. That's the best way.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Indeed, it's about to move on. Yeah.
Turn this light off then, and so Here's the goal today. The goal today is to get 10 subs, or, of course, we're not really earning it very well today, I don't feel like, because I don't have my closed captions. I feel so embarrassed about that. But the goal today is to get this miniature.
Yeah, this first
Ooh,
giant.
what's this? Big scar?
Yeah.
Oh,
Indeed, it's a hood.
part of his helmet.
Yeah, part of his helmet. It's got a hood under this skull. That's how it goes.
Okay. Yeah, I was just looking at his line because it looked really odd.
Yeah, indeed, I thought it was bald at first, but no. This is part of a hood. You can see it right here.
Well, thank you very much, Geek Girl Bookworm, for jumping in today. I really appreciate it. I love being able to run a show for an audience. It's much different than, of course, running it for yourself and just having nobody paying attention on the stream. So let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and get started then.
Yeah.
And what we're going to start with, I think, is today you mentioned assembly of miniatures and using putty. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. We're gonna use the cheap one. You're gonna use the here is known as Plastiloca in the States. Somehow like that.
This is
But
this
we're
one?
we're gonna use the green one.
Okay. So
Because
what,
we're just
what is it called?
assemble.
Because we're in Mexico, we want to make sure people who are watching from states or other places can get this. What is the materials that we use to fix mold lines, or not mold line, but fix crevices? So, for example, if you're looking at this miniature, I'm going to switch cameras here.
Yeah, that's right. We use epoxy resin or yeah, you got it. Yeah, that's right.
I will in just a minute once I find your
Yeah,
camera.
don't worry.
There we go. So
we're gonna use epoxy clay.
yes, we're going to be using epoxy clay, or what this called is resin, epoxy resin.
Mm-hmm.
And how does epoxy resin work? What we're going to be doing is fixing up these mold lines and assembling. But as you see, there's a big crevice. Use your thing. There's
Yeah,
a big
please.
crevice right here. And we want to fix these crevices so it looks natural. So sometimes a miniature will come with a lot of with big cracks in them. For example, right here, sometimes there's big cracks that you just don't want to have, and you want to be able to fix those up and make it look as natural as possible. Let me go ahead and get this camera angle much better for you. Let's see here. I need to properties. Okay, configure video.
That's right.
Give me one moment.
Yep. Don't worry.
Are we
Just go clean up this other fella so we can
Perfect. Okay.
start with those.
All right. So right here, you can see that there's a seam line. We want to use this stuff here. Roger, I'm going to show them this.
Yeah.
You can get these things here. And if you mix them together, then what happens is you can put them on, they'll get hard after a while, and you can cover up cracks in a miniature. I'm not sure if there's other ones. We did an example here, but where did that miniature go?
Well, we're gonna have examples, so do not worry. This, yeah, the epoxy clay is about 2 components. They're harmless and they're kind of nothing but a sticky mush or something. But after a while, if you mix them together, they get hardened.
So this is one we worked on last time.
Mm-hmm.
Last time we used this epoxy to
Cure those crevices. Yeah.
to seal the cracks here, and now it's smooth. It's really smooth. So now it's easy to paint, and we can just get going and start painting.
Yep, I'm
Now,
passing the little file to Josh. Now that it is hard and now also dry, you can file it.
What would we need to file for?
Yes, because
Why do we need to file?
because sometimes you get too much. In this case, I did it well, but I want you to see it. Perhaps there's a little bit out of line, or perhaps there was too much. Do not worry. That's what I told you last time. Do not worry about it because you're gonna take it out. If you had too much or there's a little misshaping here, you can take that out once it's dry. And we're gonna do that with these Frost Giants under the armpit because as you can see, it comes unassembled for the packing. And when we get this, yeah, thank you. When we get this assembled, it's gonna show that crevice. Also, we are gonna put one of this little stuff inside, so it makes some pressure, and it
So
gets
we're gonna
stuck.
put what inside?
Yeah, just a little bit around this part.
So we're gonna put the green stuff,
yeah.
this stuff here.
You
We're
can-
gonna put this here inside the arm.
and we're not gonna fill it. We're not gonna fill it up. We're just gonna take this around this little piece, which goes inside the armpit, of course, in this gap that you can see here. And well, it's just gonna fit and make some pressure, preventing it to come out or fall down. And we're gonna eliminate or at least try to erase this crevice. We're not gonna erase it, which we did. That's what we did here. We did here. You can see that we fill up the crevice in order to disappear it. Just let me check
Right.
it as
So in
well.
order to make sure it disappears,
Yeah,
we're filling up the crevices and any cracks and just kind of filling them in, kind of like you would if you're making a house or trying to make sure there's it's sealed tight. We want to make sure this miniature is sealed tight and looks as natural as possible. So when we paint, we can paint it over like it's natural skin or armor or something else. The fun thing about resin is when you use resin, you can also craft or build things. You can make custom miniatures using resin, adding details that weren't already there. You can add a cape, things like that. That's more difficult, of course, but those are some of the things you can do when you want to mod a miniature. But that's more of an advanced class thing, so we'll be doing that later.
okay. So now you can see this line is thinner than we did before because I took out the excess. And now we can paint over this and it's gonna be even smoother than before. So now I'm gonna just take this, just check it out. I clean it up. Now just check please that I didn't forget any.
All right, so what I'm doing now is I'm checking for mold lines. We saw some mold lines that were right here, but they're gone now.
Yeah, you can check it out. Under
There were
all
some mold
around
lines
this.
here, but they're gone.
Mm-hmm. Now, so this is yours. You can use a little toothbrush. It helps a lot.
What
once
does the
you take
toothbrush
out-
do?
It's for cleaning because you're gonna take a little pieces of plastic, and sometimes they get stuck.
I
into
found
the
a seam line, so
Yeah,
let's go
right.
ahead and try to get this seam line right here.
Yeah, with that file, it will do precisely. And once you take out or you try to file it down or to file it out, you use the toothbrush to take out the excess because sometimes it's on. We go so hard because we think we didn't take the mold line, but in some cases it's only the residue which remains there. And with the toothbrush, we can take it out. We can see exactly what we're doing there.
It looks harder in this light, I think.
Yeah, it's remember that when you take out the mold line, it doesn't appear sometimes like you took it out.
Here's another crack we're gonna fill up right here.
That right? Those are the places where the miniature is assembled. Sometimes they are so evident, sometimes they're not.
This miniature is not so bad. I've seen, I don't know if any of you have heard that Reaper Miniature is releasing some new miniature line called, I think it was like something like black miniatures or something, or black molds, I don't know. But from what I've seen some beautiful paints of them, but one of the problems that they're having right now is, or many people are complaining about, is that the mold lines and the and the holes that they have to fill up with resin are just so vast. Like they literally have to do almost like a full day's work just preparing the miniature and filling up the holes and crevices that it's almost not even worth it. I would like to see some of my own, of course, to see how it looks. But from the things I've seen of the troll, at least, it's not looking very good.
Yeah, sometimes it's a problem with some miniatures.
It's their new style. It's their new line, actually.
Yeah, and they have to practice because whenever a new line comes out, you have the problem of the new production and get used to it. Uh, when you're casting your own models, in this case, Reaper is a big company, they also have to improve on those molds or on the production. And there's also always there's problems casting the new models. I know it shouldn't be that they come out with some new models and sell them. They have such a problem. But well, sometimes that's how it works. I remember when Citadel had their new resin, uh, it got popular by the name, it's called Finecast. It came so popular by the name of Failcast because because they were all bent down. They were all in this.
It became known as Failcast.
Yeah, yeah, that's awful for them. But they corrected in time because it's like when you do something new, it doesn't matter if you're a pro, a professional on it. You sometimes get little troubles with new models or with new
or with microphones,
stuff.
for my case.
Yeah, in this case. But once you get used to it, well, you just get good at it. And yeah, I can guarantee you that the last models of Finecasts are pretty good. I normally do a lot of Warhammer, so that's where I started. But we were talking about role-playing games, indeed. We want to know what you're painting. What do you want to see us painting? Perhaps we don't have pretty much the same models that you have. But I don't know. You want to paint an elf? We can try it with those.
Do we need to prime this guy first?
No.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's pre-primed.
It's pre-primed. But do not worry. If there is a gap that you feel that is so big that the paint is not gonna cover, you can reprime there with the primer. We already talked about this the last session. This is the camera. Sorry. Yeah, but do not worry. There are so many labels. Vallejo. We have the running here, and of course the Citadel. But do not worry. If the gap is so little, it's gonna work with the paint. Only if the area that you took out the paint from is bigger. Well,
only if the area you're going to paint is big should you worry about it, is what he's saying, I believe.
Yeah, in this case, because these are pre-painted, pre-primed. Sorry, but yeah, do not worry. If you didn't took out a lot of primer, yeah, paint is gonna work just fine. And in the end, we're gonna cover it with an extra translucent layer, which is gonna prevent the color to fade away. So do not worry. We're gonna get there soon. We're gonna get there in time.
I think I'm ready to go now.
Okay. So now we're gonna start with Josh's miniature on the layer color, on the base colors. So we're gonna work as if we were dressing it up.
Should we connect the arm first or after?
After. In this case, normally we will do it before. As we said, when we are working with this kind of materials, with the resin or the epoxy clay, we should let it work by night, where that will be the last thing we're gonna do. But in this case, as we're online streaming, we're gonna paint and we're gonna prepare it for later on. And I'm gonna show you how to cure those crevices in another stuff. Do not worry, we're gonna work on that. Of course, we're gonna show you how to do it.
I'm gonna get a USB. Thank you so much, Stat Revol. Don't forget, if you it's your first time here, do give us a little follow so that you can see us when we're online next time. Or if you really like to and you have Twitch Prime or Amazon Prime, you can get one free subscription, and any subscription does help for us to be able to keep growing and, well, to do giveaways as well. The more we get from our followers, the more subscriptions we have or patrons we have, the more giveaways I can do. Currently, I have Atlantis Miniatures and Zealot Miniatures who are sponsoring our channel, and Zealot Miniature has a giveaway, but only if I could reach 10 viewers during the stream. So that's my goal today, is to try to reach those 10 viewers. If we get those 10 viewers, then I will give this Zealot miniature away. And here's an example of what Zealot miniatures look like. They are beautiful.
Minotaur? Okay, yeah, Minotaur.
These are absolutely beautiful sculpts. We've just begun painting them.
And we're solving doubts. And also we're using this giant just for an example of these painting techniques, because this is bigger than the normal miniatures, so you can see the details easier. And I'm gonna try to improve on this one. Don't do this at home, not yet.
All right. So what are you doing now? Let's go ahead and look at what you're doing here real quick.
Well,
because
I'm making a lobotomy, so do not.
Why are we doing that?
Do not try to do that at home.
Why are you doing this right now?
Okay, I'm gonna make an improvement on this one because I like this hood, because it is supposed that it has I don't know what it is. It should be
the helmet.
Yeah, it's some kind of creature. I don't know.
Looks like a kind of a bull, yeah.
Yeah.
Or an elk.
Or a deer. I don't know where they live from. After he ate it, after he ate it, he used his skull as a nice little hat. So it is supposed that he has a beard, and also under this skull it has a cloak or a hood, and it continues underneath. These are not. This is not his back. This, the skin of his back. This is.
See you later, Angelique. Thanks for stopping by.
So I'm gonna make improvements on this one, and I'm gonna make hair on this one.
Yay! That's awesome. You're gonna make hair.
Yeah.
What kind of? How are you gonna add hair?
I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna edit with this stuff that we were talking before.
Okay.
The epoxy clay, just so you know how to use it. And so, why am I drilling this down? Well, because I have to attach it. I don't want it to fall down, so I have to make some gaps or some little space.
It can go inside, so it stays in and stays clamped.
That's right.
Okay.
So that's what I'm doing here. So.
Well, this is a kind of a more advanced modding technique that we're going to be that he's popping in right now, and what he's doing, just to rephrase or recap, is he's drilling some holes now so he can use the green stuff, and he's going to sculpt with the green stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Meanwhile, let's start with yours.
So you're going to use green stuff to craft or sculpt a mold of hair, what it looks like hair. So he has hair in his front and also hair going down the back of his helmet, which sounds like an incredible idea.
Yeah, indeed. I liked too much the Nordic stuff, so we're gonna work on that. Meanwhile,
how do we decide our base colors? So that was our big thing today, is assembly, and we just finished assembly more or less. How do we decide what to do for a base color?
Okay, well, normally we were talking about that we are mainly right now we're mainly role-playing gamers. So use your reference stuff. In this case, you can get images from the internet, images from your role-playing books, from the monster manual. In this case, I will recommend for these ones to take some reference from Age of Mythology, the video game, and also World of Warcraft if you like to. I really love the Nordic and Aztec mythology, and we can find the Jotun. That will be that you can find them on the Norse mythology as the frost giants. That those are the Jotun on Jotunheim, and you can find that also in the Thor comic books. You can find a lot of them. The legends, if you look for Thor, the god of thunder battles, you can find a lot of Jotun because he smashed them all the time. Also, I have this one for you.
Okay,
From
what's
Ronin,
this?
of course. This is paint because I thought you would need that one for your giant because this is a frost giant, and I noticed that you don't have that color before, so it hopes it help.
All right, this is going to be a nice color to use for a giant, I think, too. Yeah, it's definitely kind of like a frost color.
I don't know if you're starting with this, and some people thinks that reference have to be serious ones. Do not worry about that. If you some recommendations about color are they can come from anywhere. For example, perhaps you know the show of Adventure Time, which is pretty fun, and they have this little king, which is a frost magical king, and he has all the reference stuff that you need for a frost giant or for a frost skin. In this case, mine is gonna be bluish. It's gonna be a little bluish gray tone for the skin. For everything else, we're gonna do it. In my case, I'm gonna use a lot of silver and a lot of brown for the leather. A little bit for gold for the weapons because these are kind of like runic or magical weapons. So we can use them either with silver or gold or even copper. Do not worry about mixing it up. Perhaps in your role-playing games you're using some magical weapons. Do not doubt about trying to achieve those colors.
And how can they try to get those? How can they get those colors though? What do they need to do?
Well, in that case,
like for me, I don't know anything about base colors at all. What are the base colors?
Well, in this case, for the base colors, yeah, you have to learn a little bit about them. Base colors are the red, yellow, and blue. From them, we can get the orange, green, and purple. And well, if you add a little of black or dark gray, you can darken that little color. Oh, you found a pretty nice giant. And if you add some white, you can clear it down. So it depends on what kind of color do you want to get. Do not worry about that just before. You have to try with the colors that already exist. Yeah, I can show you, and I'm gonna show you in time how to mix the colors so you can get the blending on those schemes.
How do we choose the base color though? Because that's what we're trying to figure out today. What do we do to get started? Like for me, I know when I started trying to paint this miniature here, this guy here. No, when I was trying to paint this guy, yeah. I didn't know. I got lost. I'm not sure what to do with this paint color, so I just did him gray and some light turquoise blue, but I'm not sure if that's exactly what I wanted to do. So how do I know what I want, like what to do for like base colors?
Well, in that case, you already found an image from the basic colors and the color schemes. Do you already have? Do you have it?
For
yeah, that one. Yeah, that one.
I'll just jump out in just a minute as soon as I find this giant.
So they can see it. But yeah, in this case, you can find the colors on the internet. I'm not showing it to you right away because we don't have that print down. but you can find the information just for the theory. But
Which one?
yeah, that's precisely the one. Yeah, we use this color theory scheme. You can find it on the internet, but do not worry. That is not the reason we are showing it to you.
So what do we need to focus on?
Okay, on the main circle, the top, you can see that little circle is the common or the basic colors. You can see the main colors that I told you about, the yellow, blue, and red in the corners. If it will be a watch, you could see it on the 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and 9 o'clock. In between, you have the mixing of those, which will be the green, the orange, and the purple, which will be at the 3 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and 11 o'clock.
Okay.
So now you can have that reference only by the reference, but indeed it doesn't depend on that for your choosing of the colors. You just have to know that those colors are the result of the mixing. But to choose the colors of your skin color, it depends on reference, on visual reference. For example, you're gonna work with that giant. That is a pretty good choice.
I think I'm going to use this giant for sure as a kind of a guide. So what do I try to focus on first? Do I try to focus on the skin?
Okay.
Or should I try to focus on the leather? What do I start painting first?
Okay, as we were saying before, you're gonna dress it up. Just kind of like dress it up.
So the clothes first.
It will be the skin first, and over the skin. Why do we start with the skin? Because this is underneath the other parts. We're gonna cover in layers. Yes, we can try to make the clothes before, and afterwards we can try to make the letters and the cloth and the skin, but that will be harder because you're gonna cover this with other layers, and you can hardly avoid to make stains or to get those clothes in the way when you're trying to fix it up later. So we have to start with the things that are above or under the clothes and the armor. So we're going to start with the leather or with the skin, with the face, the eyes, and we're going to build the colors over that layer. So we're going to start with the skin.
All right. So do I start with the light blue? I have several blues here.
Yeah, and we're going to start with that one.
Which blues should I focus on starting with?
We're going to start from the darker to the lighter. We're not going to use this one because this doesn't make any sense in this scheme. But we can use these three ones from the darker to the lighter. And that's what we're going to apply to the skin. Okay. So you're going to start with this one. Don't worry about the other ones just yet. And we also are going to use some wash to even darker, even dark.
To make it darker?
Yeah, to get that color darker.
So we're going to start with the metallic blue.
Yeah.
Now, I usually use metallics for my detailing. Why would we start with a metallic blue and not a regular blue?
We're going to just start with that darker, even blue. I even have one here because if you can see, those colors are kind of the same. And we don't want that.
Okay.
We're not gonna make. Not gonna do effects right away. So, and also we're gonna do. Yes, this citadel blue is gonna help.
All right, we're gonna use the citadel blue.
That is glaze. We're just gonna use it for darken this.
What's a glaze used for? I never heard of a glaze.
The glazes are kind of the same. Work the same way as shades. They cover the miniature. I can give you another reference to the color, but they are not darker. They don't get those colors darker. They just are kind of like films or like what can you say it? When you use a filter over a picture.
Okay.
it will be a blue, in this case, a blue filter.
Do I need to cover up those cracks with the mold first?
No, not for this time, but I'm gonna do that with this one. You're gonna just start painting with that one.
Okay, because I want to make sure that the one I'm using, of course, is going to be for the tabletop and people can see it. So
Yes, of course.
will it be, like, for example, I just noticed another crack here. Here's a crack that I didn't see earlier. And I'm going to show it to you now. Yeah, you can see it. There you can see it. This is the kind of stuff you can fill with the mold line, the resin.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm gonna show you how to do that with this one. And also I'm gonna apply. You're gonna use this blue color, which is darker. And just finishing this up with the cleansing. So we can start with that mold line. And before we end, I'm gonna help you to attach that one with the epoxy clay, so you can get improvements. Otherwise, we will just do not get the advance. We wouldn't get the advance
So
that they
what
want
do I
to
need
see.
to do then with
Okay.
this guy? I mean, because
So you're gonna
I
start.
kind of like your idea actually of making hair.
Okay.
Would I be able to do that?
Yeah, you wanna? Okay, I can help you with that. Okay,
So
so
I have a drill here that I'm going to use.
Mhm.
Let me go ahead and make sure this camera is where we need to be. Okay. So I'm going to try to use this drill here.
Mhm.
And the way you hold it is just like this.
Mhm.
This camera is terrible. Okay, there we go. The way you hold it, just like this. So you put it here.
And you give it a push with the back of your palm, and then you hold it with your fingertips and just twist it.
Where should I be doing these marks here?
Okay, you're gonna cover it with hair, so don't worry. In this case, as the hair is gonna fall down from the top of the head, you're gonna use only two in this case, so they don't get confused. Only two. Yeah, that one.
Right here?
And yeah, and here. Yeah, that's right. You're gonna see why am I doing this just in a minute. And I'm starting to mix in a little bit of green stuff here. Remember, it's epoxy clay. Normally you can get it on the hobby stores as green stuff. But it's also used, this one is for repairments, home repairments. But we're gonna use also for the details.
How deep should I drill?
Okay, not too much. Now, I recommend something with Josh. How do you know when it's too deep? You don't need to put too much on it. We're gonna just put a tip. Thank you. Okay, here it is. How do I know? I'm gonna mark here with my fingernail, just touching the miniature, and I'm gonna pull it out. And that is how deep I got. You can see it here. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it. Yeah, that's right. That is a lot. Not a lot. That is enough.
Okay.
So do not worry. And that's how you make the measurement. That is the how deep Josh got into the skull of this giant. And yeah, now he's lobotomized and ready for following your orders. And you need another little pin just right here.
Okay.
And we're gonna need some paper clips, which we already have.
Okay, we do have some paper clips.
Yeah, don't worry. I have
right.
a little.
Let's
I have
see,
two
this
of
is
them.
here. Gets.
Okay, so now what we're gonna need is the super glue afterwards. Do not worry. Yeah, it's already set. And I have some. Yeah, there you go. Those are the paper clips. Okay. Okay. That's it.
Oh, I went through something.
Yeah, you went through the
Hey!
cloak.
I went through the cloak.
As we were saying, yeah, what we were saying, those miniatures are assembled. So
Okay, sorry about that, guys.
now normally,
Pull out.
remember,
Pull out. Pull out.
okay. Don't pull it out like that. You just twist it on the other way and pull it out. It's kind of like
I think it got stuck, the drill bit.
nah, don't worry. Just keep doing that.
No, I mean, it's stuck.
Okay, let me check.
It's not moving.
Don't worry. No, don't worry. No, do not worry because you're gonna unassemble it.
No, I think I just...
Yeah, it got out. Don't
It
worry.
came out. Oh, no!
Okay.
Let's just keep it in there as war damaged.
Okay.
I've got a drill bit.
You just keep drilling and you're just pulling out. So
I got a drill bit stuck into my miniature.
Oh,
All right. So now we have 2 holes. What are we doing next?
Okay. Now I mix a little piece of green stuff. I'm gonna lend half of it to you.
Okay.
Yeah. That is too much even. So you're gonna just take a little bit.
Okay. And do what?
And you're gonna put it into one of the holes that you did.
Right.
Normally, I want to make it like a drop.
I'm gonna drop this here so they can see you as well.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Oh no. I need to. All right, you'll have to adjust your camera.
Okay. Yeah.
Not you, but your camera. You'll have to adjust it.
The camera?
Or you, yeah.
No, that is okay. That's perfect.
I need to adjust myself.
I think I found the perfect position.
Perfect.
Okay. So now I'm gonna take this little piece. You can see it right away. It's not even the half that I prepared.
Okay.
I prepared this much. The difference, and I just took a little tiny bit
and put it in.
Now I recommend to try to make a little stripe.
No, you should put one. You have 4 dots in yours, 5 on yours.
Yeah.
Why did you only give me 2?
Do not worry, we're gonna get to that. Because I wasn't unsure of how much to put it, but I noticed that I did too much. So do not worry. I'm having troubles here putting this little fella down on that hole. So what I'm gonna use is this little file, and I'm gonna attach it. Just touching the epoxy clay, and just gonna pick that up.
Mine fits just fine.
Yeah, that's the reason that I use more holes than you, because your drill has a bigger bit. That's right. So you're gonna make.
Should I get smaller bits for this?
No, that was perfect. So now we're gonna put that little piece inside, like that, or as Josh did it, just with his finger. And right, it doesn't have to go all the way down. Do not worry about it. Just gonna put that. I'm gonna prepare another one for the other hole. I'm gonna fill that up also.
I can feel it's already starting to get a little hard.
Yeah, do not worry. It's gonna take some hours to get a real hard. There are some epoxy clay that it's fast hardening. Do not worry about that.
Well, what do you mean? Don't worry. Do you mean we should get those, or which one should we get?
No, these ones are good.
So not the fast ones. We don't want that one.
No,
Okay.
no, because it doesn't make any sense. You can get those, of course, but remember, this is gonna take time. We're gonna work on this. Remember, this is too much, so do not worry. Now, you're gonna get to the paperclip. I already unfold this one. We're gonna use it for making this stuff down. You already got it? No, do not worry. We have enough with this one. Okay, you got those. Well, just check it out, and you're gonna repeat the process. I'm gonna
How long do I want this paperclip?
Oh, do not worry. We're getting there.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna take this little quantity of super glue, and you just need a drop
On top of the green stuff?
on top of the green stuff in the both places, in this case both holes.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try to apply one little piece of paperclip on the first one, and I'm gonna cut it. We don't need too much, and that is gonna be, I'm gonna cut it right there. It's gonna be about
This
1
is some
centimeter.
strong stuff. Makes my eyes burn.
Okay, yeah, please do not approach it to your face. And the other one, just like that, same length.
Whew.
Yeah, that is
Are
not
you
too
sticking
much.
it in?
Yeah, I just stick it in, and I'm just gonna cut. Yep. All right. And just I don't know. It's about my finger. Yeah. All right. What is that for? These are for to be the base of the hair. So now we can use the back of our hobby knife or some pliers. I don't know, any tool to fold it down. We're gonna try to fold it, not exactly as close as the back as we need to, but not. Josh is already shooting miniatures down with what I told you not to do last time. Well,
This is where I wear safety glasses.
indeed, that is where I also do it, not because of me, because you were shooting stuff all around. Okay, so now you can see them. Those little fellows are the ones that are old. Josh is doing same stuff over there.
I only have 2 holes though.
Okay.
You can see on the camera.
Yep. So I already got this fold down. Now I'm gonna cover it with green stuff.
We're gonna cover it now with green stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna take also. Remember, we're working with miniatures.
Covering the full, all like going up.
Okay.
Are we gonna bend them down to make it look like hair?
You have to bend them down.
Yes.
Yeah. Not like hair. It's gonna be like kind of the base of it. So use the bottom of this cutting knife, or you can use the same clippers that you used before. Remember, we're working with miniatures here, so, and in this case it's a big miniature. I just using this this tiny little parts of green stuff. I'm gonna just mix that up, and I'm gonna pass it to Josh before he starts, and I'm gonna leave it here. Yeah, that's right. Don't worry. I'm gonna take something for me, and I'm gonna mix that up. I'm just gonna work it here, turn it into a ball, and in a stripe. It's gonna look like this before, and we're gonna show you the results after. Do not worry, they just have to be fall down. Okay, try with something harder, because that is the problem with that is that you don't have the of the surface to hold it down, just so tiny. I would recommend the knife.
A knife?
Yeah, like this. Sorry, I got in front of the camera. Yeah, like that, like a hammer. So it's gonna be just there and there. Yeah, that's right. So now you can see judges.
Okay.
Okay, so now try to mix up that little green stuff piece that I left you over there.
Okay.
Remember, just mix it up, make a ball, make a stripe, make a ball again, make a stripe, a ball again. Until it's almost uniform, or well, it has to be totally uniform. Yep, it has to look like this. The end. Now, that is for the same epoxy resin that just has on the little container, but that works different. That clay is for making individual parts, and this one is a sticky one, so it's gonna attach easily to the miniature. Okay, and do it on the palm of your hand. It's gonna be easier. Yeah, just a ball, and a stripe, a ball, stripe. Do not worry if you don't get it the first time. It's practice. You do it once.
Is it good?
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so now we're gonna apply. We're gonna try to stretch it kind of like a little line, like something. Okay, and we're gonna apply it to the back of the head of this giant. It doesn't matter. You get as close as you can to the top under the helmet, but do not try to put it just underneath. Just try to get as closer as you can with your fingernails, your fingertips. Sorry. Yeah, that's right. And now we're gonna use the sculpting tool that you were using before. Now, don't worry if it doesn't get perfect. Just the base. Remember, this is just the base. And now we're gonna take some water into the sculpting tool. Don't worry, it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to cover the clips on the first one. Okay. So now we use a little water on the sculpting tool, that's the one that you already had.
Okay.
All right.
Which side of it?
It
The
doesn't
knife right?
matter. Yeah, you can use the blade if you want me to. If you want to use the blade, that is okay. And you take out the excess by shaking it or by taking out. It doesn't matter. And you're gonna try to press the green stuff down, and now you can move it to wherever you want to go. Now you can get it closer to the head, like
Uh-oh, mine just broke off.
this time is not your tool that you're talking about. If the green stuff breaks, do not worry, try to apply it again and just put it down. You have to direct that one. Do not worry. If it gets sticky to your tool, again, water, take out the excess of water, apply it. You can see how we can try to cover that. Do not worry about the detail. It just has to be covering all the surface that you want to cover with this one. I'm just trying to get to the...
I don't think I have enough for mine then.
Okay, do not worry. Just cover as much as you can. And try to keep it thin. Do not worry if it doesn't look like curly hair right now. You just have to try to... That is okay. Okay, that's nice. So now you get to use a little bit more. Why not preparing a lot of great stuff in the beginning? Same thing as with the paintings. As we said before, we're working with miniatures. If you take a lot of material, perhaps you get too much. We don't want that. So now mix a little bit more, have a little bit more of this.
I'm still quite upset today. To be honest, I can't get my captions working.
Now that was
It was really disappointing
very
because
disappointing because
that's something I worked really hard on getting access for, and then it just suddenly stopped working. Oh, I'm gonna have to find a new option now because I'm also hard of hearing. So when I always try to find things to make my streams a little bit more accessible to people who just don't have the same can, especially for people at work, because a lot of the streams I run are when people are at work in different time zones.
Yeah, all right.
So, do you typically mod most of your miniatures?
I'm a modification fan, a custom fan. Yeah, indeed. And normally I do a lot of beards or hair. As I said, I do a lot of Warhammer 40k, and in that universe there's an army called the Space Wolves. And normally you don't get the Space Wolves with a lot of fur because there are no so many miniatures. Now there are more, but normally you don't get it. So I had to
create fur.
Yeah, I had those normal Marines, and I used to put fur all over them. So I had a lot of practice, and it looks nice. For this one, we're gonna do something kinda same thing or the same part. Remember, it's about practice. I'm gonna apply here a little bit more of green stuff once it's already mixed. Remember, you have to use it only for the parts that you want to cover. In my case, I want to make some hair all around. I'm gonna make it go all the way down to its back. Apply it just with my fingertips right now. Now I covered the clips, the paper clips, you can see it. Josh already did the same thing. I'm gonna make some.
Dip my knife in the water.
Yeah, all right.
That's enough.
Right back. Okay. All this stuff is part of the preparation of the miniatures. So we said before, you have to be patient, work on that. Why to be patient about this part? Because this ain't gonna be dry until tomorrow. So you won't be able to paint it tomorrow.
But what that means is what we'll be doing then, I suppose, is we'll be painting.
We're gonna paint the skin in this session. Okay. Yeah, the skin, the base colors on this session. So do not worry. Yeah, we're gonna show you how. But you want to see this part? Well, not worry. We're gonna work on that too. And we're gonna teach you how to assemble the arm and to cover the crevices. Don't worry. But we also are gonna teach you how to make. We're gonna apply the base colors only on this session. You already saw the image that Josh has for his giant. So we're gonna cover the base colors. We're gonna cover the base color for the skin, for the leather vest. In this case, for I don't know, it's a leather armor. So we're gonna use the colors for that one. Perhaps we're gonna use the colors for the helmet. In this case, it's bone. We're gonna use also. We're gonna work mainly with blue, brown, and some sand color. So don't worry, we're gonna get that.
All right. You know, this is a funny thing. I just realized I have a great idea for a new giveaway.
Yeah.
Whoever can guess how many times you will say "Don't worry" in one stream, whoever gets closest to that amount will be able to win the giveaway.
And that's what we call it. Don't worry, just paint. Sorry. But
That's
it's
great.
normal.
No, don't worry.
It is normal because some people really get nervous about I'm just not doing
I'm a
it
perfectionist, yes.
right. Don't worry. And as you may think, perfection needs a lot of practice. Okay, I already got this covered, Josh also. So now we're gonna make a
I
little
don't have it
strip.
all covered. I'm going to try to get more covered here.
Okay,
And then try to go over some of the armor.
okay. Yeah, do it.
Plus, there's a couple pieces still.
Yeah, but
can't
do,
get covered
do
up.
not do not make it over. Just try to get the first surface. Think of the hair as if you were doing some layers also. The first layer of the hair, and then it goes another, and it adds volume to it. So in this case, I already got all the surface covered that I want for this giant. In this case, it doesn't look like hair right now. Do not worry. I'm gonna put a little strip over this
We
for
are
the head.
4 subscribers, everybody. Just so you know, if we hit 10 subscribers today, we are doing the giveaway of a Z-Lot miniature. What is a Z-Lot miniature? This bad boy right here. Or she's a bad girl.
Yeah, in this case, that is a bug girl. Okay.
But yes, we're going to be doing a giveaway of miniatures. Not a painted one, but a fresh one that you can paint yourself. And perhaps even paint with me. But this is the type of miniatures that we are going to be giving away. These are highly detailed sculpts, and you can get one for free. Well, not exactly free. If we get subscribers, up to 10 subscribers, you can gift subscriptions, of course. But yeah, once we get to that point, we will be giving away this miniature to a random person who's inside the chat room. That's a big thing, I think.
Indeed, that is so cool. Okay, so how do you go? How are you doing with that?
Here it is.
Yeah, mix a little bit more, and I'm gonna prepare something more for you because you're gonna need more for the next step. For this one, so you can see here what I'm doing. You can see there's the first layer, and this one is the second layer that I used. It's just a little stripe from the back of the head to its back. So we're gonna wait for Josh. I'm gonna mix a little bit more of green stuff. Remember, this one is for the repair, for home repairments again, because this is the first layer. Josh has the nice one, the fine one, which we're gonna use for the details. Josh has this
Actually, I
this
found out
green
it's
stuff,
homemade.
and yeah, indeed. And you also can make or use the homemade clay. Josh has a lot of that. He showed me the other day. He's got a lot of that for sculpting. And also,
Is this homemade clay, or are you talking about the one in the corner?
yeah, and that right. And you also have the green stuff. We're gonna try the green stuff, but the real good one for modelists.
Yeah, the clay I made would not be good for this because that's hard
Yeah.
rock clay.
Oh, do not worry. We're gonna use the other one right away.
All right. Maybe a little bit here because I want to fill in some of these blank spots here.
Okay. And remember, that is only the first layer.
Yes, but I want to get inside here.
That's right.
All right, let's just.
Like that one here. Stripe over there.
There we go. Perfect.
Now, one of the questions that Josh always asks is about how much do I apply?
How much
The
paint or what?
No, and everything: paint, resin, clay, and that's normal because that is the question that we all do normally. Now we're gonna answer that. The right answer is as much as you want. And don't get me wrong, it doesn't depend that just put it there. No. When I say as much as you want, it's as much as you need to get to the result that you want to. In this case, I am applying perhaps only that. I'm going to see it. Yeah. So they can see it. Yeah, that's right. Okay, you cover that up. So now use this one, make a little stripe from the back of the head, from the center of the back of the head. To the shoulder line. Do not worry to get it too plain. Don't try to compact it. No, we just want to cover the area.
Okay.
Now,
how does this look then?
Yeah, that's right. Do not worry, you're gonna see it, the results. It has to be more natural.
Okay. So
Okay.
what's next?
Now, next you apply another layer of green stuff, but now it's gonna be not compacted. It's gonna be kinda loose. So apply it there.
What are we going to put it on?
Whatever you want. I recommend to start at the top of the head.
Oh, so we're doing the hair, the actual hair now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Indeed, you already did the first layer of the hair. We're gonna do a little bit more hair, and you're gonna need even more because you made it long. So do not put it just near that one. Try to make it a little bit aside. Think of this as dreadlocks.
Yep, that's what I'm thinking about right now.
And perhaps one to the left, because I know that I can see that you leave some to get loose. Okay, so now
in the middle, you mean right now?
Yeah, right. I noticed you put some to the side, so perhaps over that one, like in mine, I do it here, and I'm gonna just apply it here. Oh. You can see it here for the fellows on the other side of the screen. So well, now again with the wet tool, take out the excess and just try apply it just a little bit. We're not gonna compact it, just gonna use a little bit and make a little caress these ones. Why? Just to attach it really good to the first layer. We don't want to compact it, we don't want to press too much. We want to make that line get a noticed, sorry. And once we are sure that this is not loose, we're gonna go for the hobby knife or the X-Acto blade, whatever you want. Yeah, that is right. Okay, now we're gonna get the hobby knife wet. Also, we're gonna get rid of the excess of water. You can take a tissue if you want to. It depends of how do you get used to work with these ones. Now we're gonna get X-Acto blade, and we're gonna try to mark from the middle the first lines of hair. Now, hair, it doesn't matter if they have a straight hair.
Okay.
You have to make it naturally. This little fellow is in motion. You can see he's moving. He's getting forward, and he's about to make a hack with his sacks. So it moves. The hair. It doesn't matter if he has straight hair. He's gonna move. The hair is gonna move and make little waves on it.
Because of the way his stance is.
Is that right? So now we're not
posture.
we're not just make some straight lines. We're gonna try to follow the direction that we think the hair is gonna take, and we're gonna do the first line. I'm gonna show it to the camera. First line here to the end. Do not do it so hard. We're gonna follow with the next one. If your blade gets stuck, it's because it doesn't have enough water. So just get rid of the excess. You need
Just going to the base.
Yeah. You don't have to cut all through it. You just want to mark the layer. That's all. That's why we make this little layer a little softer or a little loose, so we can mark it. We only want to make a little mark to carve it. Okay, we're gonna follow. Yeah, we're sculpting now. I was supposed not to show you this, but well, Josh wants some hair on his giant, so I'm gonna make some hair.
Like this?
Yeah, right. Just like that. There, right. Okay.
Yours looks much more realistic than mine.
Because I have practice, so do not worry. Now, when you get to the ends, do
Are
not
you
try
also
to
doing
just.
the top of this one, the big ones? Are you
Yeah.
carving into those too?
Yeah, yeah. Indeed, I started with those ones. When you get to the ends of the hairlines, now you're gonna see that there's gonna be a little resistance to this. Do not worry with those. Just cut it down. Take out the excess because there's gonna be some loose, and pull it out. Okay. Yeah, that's nice. Again, remember, if your blade gets stuck, doesn't have water, and remember, it's all about practice. So practice and observation. You can be pretty good with tools, but if you don't have that notion of how a hair looks like and it's moving, you know that walls are gray, but you don't know which parts are gray, which parts are brown. Those details are what make a model look real good or realistic. And I look kind of like it here. Okay, we're gonna wait for Josh. Take it with calm. Some people used to say, "Well, you make it look so easy." Yeah, that's what practice does. Now, do not. Okay, that's right. Get to the end of the lines. Now take out whatever it comes out when you make the cuts. Yeah, that's right. All right. That looks nice. And now I'm gonna continue with the next part.
Oh, I'm ruining it.
Do not worry.
Oh, this part's got ruined.
Oh,
I fix it.
don't worry. We're getting to that indeed. So now In the case of Josh's miniature, you can see, show them please to the camera, where you uncovered that little piece of paperclip. That is pretty normal and it happens all the time, and it's good because it tells us where do we need more green stuff. That little dot there that we can see here, just let me check it out. Yeah, that right, thank you. That's the paperclip. We don't want that to show up or to get us harm when we are painting or damage our brushes. So we're gonna put a little stripe or green stuff from the top of the head to the bottom, covering that part, and we're gonna give even more volume to that part. Perhaps there's a little piece of hair, a little strain, and we're gonna.
I see what yours looks like.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe I should have been watching you a little bit more. So it's very similar then, I suppose, yes?
Yeah, it's pretty similar. And I'm gonna do, even that I didn't uncover that that little piece, I'm gonna apply more green stuff. I already have this prepared because I want some volume in other parts of the head. So it helps us to give even more movement to our miniature. So I'm gonna apply it here, just right here. You cannot see it, but Josh is pretty focused on this right now. I know him from what, about months? And I never see him so concentrated, so focused on something like that.
Any more green stuff? I cut through it already again.
Don't worry. But even more, or move it. If you have excess on some part, take that excess out. Just that. Right? I'm gonna add some volume here. The hair. I'm gonna get some strands loose. They look like they're kind of flying. Stuff. Like this one. You can see this one. Up, out. All. These are basics. Do not worry. We're not sculpting a new face for this miniature. We're just gonna put some hair. That will be it for me. Let's wait for Josh.
I think today we might actually only get done with the sculpting part.
Don't worry, we're gonna get
But
that.
that's fine because this looks like it's gonna be really cool now. It's gonna be worth it.
Indeed, that's the part that we want for us. Why am I showing you this? Because as I said, we're role-playing gamers. We want the stuff look like we want to show our fellows in the table. This is my character. This is my character. I want it to look like this, and I want
the
to
big
show
bad
this.
guy. For me,
Yeah,
this is
right.
gonna be my big bad guy.
Yeah, because you are a DM. Those tiny little players of yours are not. They don't deserve that.
Well, they may look tiny to this giant, but I have a feeling that if they decide to fight this giant, they will bring him down.
Well, that's because they are.
They are really talented at coming up and overcoming all of my devious plans against him.
Well, that's what makes an adventure fun.
So, okay, I'm gonna take off a piece.
Okay. Meanwhile, Josh finished that hair. I'm gonna teach you the other part that I was talking to you at the beginning of this session, and also I'm gonna show it to Josh. Do not worry. I'm gonna take this arm. This goes into that gap. I'm gonna just put a little stripe of this green stuff here. And I'm gonna.
Does this look normal? How would it look normal to wave? Be falling down this way?
Yeah.
Or would it be rolling up like this?
No, I think it will be take the curve. Yeah, that's right. Because he's gonna spin that way.
All right, wet the blade.
Okay, I'm gonna take this green stuff around. I'm gonna put it that way. Now it's gonna go into a miniature, and because of the compression, it's gonna be too much because this is so tight that it's gonna come out because of the pressure. Do not worry about that. Just try to press it on. We're gonna work on that excess afterwards. We're gonna use it to our advantage. Look at this. This is a problem I had always when I make pressure. I already put my fingerprints on this. I already erased the hair lines that I did. That's why it is important to make this on steps. We're doing this so quickly so you can see it wherever you are watching us. But normally I will take my time to do the hair, make another part, and then fix the arm, make another part, so on. One of the things that Josh already said, and it is pretty important, is that again, this is a patience work. Yeah, perhaps we're only just getting advanced on this sculpting part or this filling gaps stuff. But yeah, normally it will take for us to finish these miniatures in about 1 week.
How many hours though?
About 2 hours per day. Okay, I already fixed the hair. So now you can see the excess here out of the armpit and in this little gap here. I'm gonna press it out. Yeah, that's right. That is right. Okay. You can also apply super glue if you want to. I'm not going to because I don't feel the need on this. This is the excess that I wanted to show you. Perhaps you cannot see it pretty good because color. There's some green stuff here. I'm gonna just press it out to blend it. And I'm gonna try to blend it with the wet sculpting tool. There it goes. Now your turn. Look at that little tiny little head and shoulders hair. Looks amazing. Yeah, that's right.
This is the hair we're working on right now. If you'd like to see it a little bit closer up.
Okay. Now try to make a little stripe with this, a little long stripe with this. There you are.
Maybe that's too much light.
Die in envy, all the dreadlocks.
Definitely. I'm thinking about having one that goes over the armor here too, but I'm not sure if that would work.
That would. You want to? That's use this one. Well, take a little piece of that. Meanwhile, I'm gonna work on this crevice here, under the armor. Fill it up. Same way. I'm gonna make a little stripe. Just a tiny little bit. A tiny little stripe here. And I'm gonna apply it directly on the crevice. Just like that. sticky. Doesn't fall apart with my finger. And underneath here.
Now we're attaching the arm. Is that right?
Yeah, right.
Now, can you show me what you're doing?
Yeah,
I know you were doing that over there.
Do a stripe, a long stripe.
Yep.
Even longer.
Even longer.
Yeah, so you have to just try to make it as thin as you can, and just get it around this piece.
Around the edges.
Yeah. All right.
What does that do?
It's gonna get tight. Give some tight to the part, and when you press it into the miniature, it's gonna pop out.
It's gonna be strong. Oh, so it's gonna pop out and fill in the gaps.
Yeah, all right. But also, it's gonna give some pressure, and it's gonna prevent it to come out.
This is one of the problems I had when I first started painting miniatures. I had no idea what to do with the ones that were not assembled, like the giants, and so I just never painted them and never did anything with them until these lessons. All right, I think I got it to where I needed to be.
Okay.
Apparently, there's no camera. Is there not a camera now?
They don't see us.
I don't know. Can you see us? It's not focused. Okay, which one are you?
Okay.
Which camera are you looking at? See if I can get that one focused for him. Which one are you looking at? All right. Maybe it's yours. I'm not sure because I think mine's focused.
Okay.
There we go. And yours should be focused. Okay, that should be better. Yes.
I hope so.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
How are you doing today? It's good to see you again. So we're doing something different with miniatures. I know. Well, Hill is a big modder, so he likes modding miniatures, and he decided that the frost giant miniatures could really use some extra hair. Because they had no hair in the back, but lots of hair in the front. So we are sculpting hair in the back. I apologize today, there's no captions. The caption is not working today. I don't know why. So I really hope you enjoy. If you have any questions or you'd like to, if you have anything you'd like to know about the process, go ahead and ask in the chat. I'm watching the chat and he will explain. And we put together a dab of glue or a bunch of glue.
Okay. No. Well, you can do that. Yeah, all right.
Is it ready, you think?
Yeah, that is perfect. No, that is perfect. And using glue not on the green stuff, but on the edges. So
on the top edges or the bottom edges? Where I have it now.
On the top edges right now. As you
some more green stuff?
No,
or the glue?
No, only the glue.
Only the glue. So the glue goes on the top part. Got it. Okay. Yep, there are no captions. I had captions, but unfortunately, I don't know why they're not working today. The website for the captions is not recognizing my microphone. And I struggle with it, but alas, it did not work. And I decided just to start the stream without it.
It was an epic fight. I was there.
I get stressed when things don't work right. And yeah, that really, really pissed me off. So glad I don't have family friendly on my stream today as a tag. All right.
Okay.
Let's try this.
Okay, Josh is trying to fill it up. Careful with the hair. Yeah, all right.
It doesn't look like it's coming out very much.
Do not worry. But you feel it firm, right? You feel it real hard there. Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right. Do not worry. The thing is, it is not necessary to come out. It's just in case.
Yeah, it's not that firm actually, look.
Okay. So we're gonna use a little bit more.
More what?
More green stuff. But just like that.
Probably the glue will
apply
stick.
Just a little bit of glue outside.
On the outside? On the outside?
Yeah, on the outside, on the crevice, to make sure that it holds. Don't worry. All right. Yeah. Crevice, as you will do it normally. Even so, as you did well, The green stuff is gonna get dry inside, and it's gonna get hard. And now we're gonna apply some green stuff on the outside to fill the gap.
Yeah, boy. Okay.
Mix some for you. This is green stuff also, yeah, but this doesn't work anymore.
How are you doing today? It's good to see you again. We were going to start painting the skin, but we decided to sculpt the hair. I saw what he was doing. He's drilling holes in the back of the giant's head. I was like, what are you doing? Why are you, lobotomizing the giant?
Yeah, something like that.
And he says, oh, well, there should be hair in the back. I want hair. And I was like, really? Okay, I like this idea. Let's do this.
Indeed, yeah.
And so now we are working on sculpting hair.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll move to the skin, which I'm going to be painting with a Citadel glaze called...
We're going to use it.
Guilliman Blue.
Yeah. Don't worry about the label, just a blue glaze. We're going to try with the running label also, so not worry about that. And we're going to try with the skin tones. Okay, we have 1 hour left, so yeah, we can do it. We're going to work today with the base colors. We're going to, Josh already showed us how does he want his giant to look like.
Oh yeah, I can go ahead and get that picture up for you if you'd like to see.
Yeah, please. Meanwhile, cover my camera with that. Yeah, all right.
This is what we're going to paint.
Something like that.
With the skin tones at least. Is it too thick?
Just a little bit, but you're gonna take that, just press it so it goes inside, and when you finish you take the excess out with a knife. Do not worry about it.
All right, let me go ahead and get in the camera so you can see what we're doing.
Yeah.
Should I use this fat part or should I use this part here to really press it in?
Use that one just to press it out, to press it in. If it goes in, do not worry, you're gonna cover it with the excess, and again press, and again. And in the end, you're gonna take out the excess. If it is too much, you can try to make hair with that one. All right. Remember, your tool, you cannot see it over there because, of course, this is translucent. But yeah, Josh is getting water to its tool to get his tool wet in order to
mold the clay.
Mold the clay. It makes it easier. Last time we mentioned the Vaseline. Yeah, Vaseline is good when you're making a complete piece or a complete bit of the miniature, because you're gonna perform a new part or something totally a part of the miniature. In this case, we wanted to get stuck to the miniature. If we use Vaseline, it's gonna make it slide out of the miniature. So you don't want that in this case. We want to get sticky.
That's right. We are definitely making a blue frost giant.
Oh yeah, please.
I think it's a blue skin tone's a good one. If you, what kind of ideas do you have for frost giants? What do you imagine when you think of a frost giant? I think they are in the cold all the time, so their skin will be blue, almost with an icy tint.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do the grayish, blue grayish skin tone. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
I'm excited when I get started on the fire giants. I'm thinking about making them really dark skinned, like almost like charcoal black, or
I see,
or even like dark tan to brown skin kind of thing. And it looks like I've unfortunately messed up my hair as well by putting my fingers on it. No.
Yep. So before it gets harder, I recommend to work on that hairdo.
Yeah, I think they're really hairy as well. They're gonna need to be hairy like a Yeti. You're right. I think that's true. That's why we added this hair on the back. There was no hair on the back, but tons of hair in the front here.
Yeah, indeed. And it was a good idea, the cloak as they show us before, as they sell it, but I think it looks real nice with that hair.
I think it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
It's gonna be unique too, because I don't think I've seen anybody add hair to it so far. Online?
Not yet.
On the different examples?
Yeah, all right.
I don't think I've seen anybody mod and add hair, so this will be a unique model that we can share, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah, that's even
now
better.
I'm trying to get here on the bottom as well. lots of seam lines there on the bottom. I'm gonna try to fill up.
Okay.
Let me. I think I need to get it right again.
So, meanwhile, Josh is taking that out. I'm gonna prepare some paint so you can continue with me on the preparation. And again, tell us what you're painting. Tell us about your characters. Tell us about what you're doing on your
And your paints.
and also in your quests
games?
in your games. Yeah, because that is the important part here. We want to know about your games. Remember that in this case, Josh manages or runs the Winged Horizon platform, and
It's
all
all
this
about
started
games.
about games. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'm a big game fan. I pretty much I love games. I want to know. I'd love to know what you guys are playing and what's going on in your worlds and what you're creating with your imaginations and with your players. So if you want to share that, I'm glad to talk games anytime.
Mhm. Okay, I'm preparing some paint here. I'm doing a dark blue. Let's take that frost giant out of the camera. If you help me with that.
He says, "I am painting my mo oh those morons or modons, modons or morons,
Okay.
necrons. Excuse me."
Oh, Necrons are those are
Sorry.
awesome. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I heard I read morons because
Now,
the type's so small.
Like okay,
I was
Josh.
like, really?
No.
Josh, you're such a bad person.
Yeah.
It looked really. The type is small. I need glasses. It seems like. I was
Okay,
like,
Necrons. Love Necrons. I really loved. Used to love Necrons.
reddish veins. Oh, I like that idea. Yes, reddish veins with dark back skin.
Oh,
That'll
that
be
would be
great.
great.
You did the base coats, but keep losing pieces, and you can't. Oh, one of the things I do, if you could do it, if you're losing pieces when you're trying to work on a character that has lots of pieces, you really need to
Oh,
get those small baggies. For example, I have.
those little Ziploc bags that you get on the market for your sandwiches. That helps a lot. Don't double and get some of those.
For example, this middle
Yeah.
miniature here is a halfling, but he has a tiny, tiny little piece that is his hand in a stick, whatever. It's so freaking important to have this Ziploc bag so you're not losing the pieces and falling on your table and going underneath like a crack or something. And then you have to buy a whole new miniature and start over again. That's the worst thing I can imagine having to do is having to start everything over because you lost a piece. It's like losing a piece to a puzzle.
Yeah, or another thing you can do is to get those pill boxes your grandma used for keeping her meds out of your range.
Little pill boxes.
Yeah,
Okay?
these pill boxes are awesome, and you can get those separated. In the case of Necrons, you can have the heads, the blasters, everything like that. You can have it separated.
What
so-
is it? What line is Necrons for? Because I actually don't know.
Okay, Necrons are an army from Warhammer 40k.
Ah, okay.
And
So
those
you were the
are-
Warhammer guy.
Yeah, so they're kind of like futuristic pharaohs.
This is why you got so excited. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
He runs a shop for this game for Warhammer, more or
Furnace
less.
Warhammer, yeah. And we do a lot of Warhammer. We're also right now on a kill team mode, so yeah.
He says the arms keep falling off, and he's glued it 3 times already.
Okay,
what kind of glue are you
kind of
using?
glue are you using? Yeah, that's right.
Perhaps it's time to change up some glues.
Okay, for that answer, it doesn't matter about the label. Do not worry. We recommend.
Robot undead. Okay.
What?
He says it's robot undead. So that's what he's trying to tell me what the Necrons are.
Okay.
The robot undead. Undead.
It's
robots.
kind of like the Terminator got a lot of family.
Sounds like the Borg.
Something like that. And you can imagine that futuristic Earth where Skynet already runs the place, and there's a lot of Terminators without any skin, only the mechanical skeletons.
Sounds lovely.
Yeah, that's right. Indeed, they are. There's a little faction between them which are crazy about doesn't have any skin anymore, so they got mad and they skin their enemies and wear the skins over the metallic skeleton. That's pretty lovely because they show us the love about the skin with a lot of style.
Lots of moisturizer, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
They pack a lot of moisturizer, make sure it works right.
Oh yeah, they're right. You bet on it. But yeah, Games Workshop miniatures are made of styrene. Styrene,
that's right.
Styrene, yeah, all right. There's a lot of labels. I think they wrote something about. You can see better than I. There are special glues for those. In the hobby stores, you can find the labels of Tamiya. It's a Japanese, I think.
Yeah, Tamiya is correct. Yeah.
Yeah, right. A Tamiya label. I didn't brought mine today. We here in Mexico have the running label, which is pretty good. That's right.
Here's Tamiya.
Tamiya, you're gonna find those on the hobby stores, on the model scale stores. You're gonna find that for sure. That is a pretty good one. Here in Mexico, we have the running label, and also you can try the testors. You're gonna find it also on the modeling stores. You can use super glue, but the problem with that one is that super glue can break apart.
Why don't you go ahead and let him see what you're doing there?
Yeah, I'm starting with the base tone on this miniature. Do not worry, I'm just covering that up. Indeed, I think with this tone, now that I'm looking at it, I think we're not gonna use the glaze, so don't worry. I'm just painting all the flesh parts that are shown in this miniature. And with the hand right now, you can see it there. No, I'm the one who's moving now, so sorry. Do not worry, I have to adapt with that one.
Let me go ahead and jump this camera or this light here.
Okay.
So you can see
there it is.
what you're doing.
Okay, now we were waiting for Josh, but I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing here. I'm just applying the first colors to this miniature. This is the base coat. I'm using just
Yep, I just noticed that. I looked up and I saw that he was working hard, and I kept a giant thing up. I was like, oh, I need to get that off, so you can see what he's actually doing. Watch the teacher.
Yeah, no, do not worry. Indeed.
So we're going to be doing a giveaway. I think we got our idea for a giveaway is we're going to guess how many times he has said "Don't worry," and whoever gets closest to the correct number of times wins the prize.
That sounds nice.
Because I think he said it probably about 20 times already in today's session.
3 in a row, indeed. 5 minutes ago.
We got to make sure we never make it into a drinking game.
Okay.
That becomes a drinking game, people are going to get too drunk.
Too drunk, yeah. Those games are actually pretty good. So much fun.
They are. What they do is they do drinking games for the politics things, like during elections. And the politicians will, like, they have these talking points. And of course, they're going to be talking those points a lot. And so people like to play games where, like, they guess how many times they're going to talk about this one thing or say one thing. Donald Trump is a fun one to try with because he says the same things a lot.
A lot.
He repeats himself.
Okay. So I'm showing you the blue parts. I made a mistake here on the leg, so do not look at it. But it only shows the arms, hands, and that tiny little face. Now you can see here where I made where I filled the gaps with the arm. Do not worry about that. We're gonna get there As probably most of you are gonna do it later, you can do the green stuff process, and afterwards you can do all this stuff. So now I'm just gonna wait for Josh.
What are we waiting for?
Start with your blues. You have
Okay.
to start with your blues.
All right. Okay, how did I do this? Does it look all right?
That looks great. Yeah, all right.
Okay. Here's the arm. If you'd like to see it close up, let me go ahead and get this zoomed in on it and focus better.
Another thing that I forgot to mention now that we were talking about glues, well, why do we use that kind of cement? It only works on styrene, so do not try to glue any other thing or any other stuff with those. They kind of melt the plastic.
What melts?
The Tamilla,
Tamiya
glue.
sprays?
No, Tamilla glues.
Tamiya glue, okay.
Yeah, that's for styrene. You apply it, and you just give it 2 or 3 seconds, and then you put together the parts. It's gonna kind of melt a little bit the plastic, and then you're gonna just. I think I have something for here for showing up. Meanwhile, you start with the blue, and once you let it dry, it just holds back. It gets dry, and of course, it doesn't get melt anymore. Yes, I have it. This flask here is for the Tamilla, but I fill it up with the running because, well, running is more accessible for me. And also, I got the blue one because I normally like to show what I do with these parts. Also, I have here one of the generators from Citadel. You can see here, and this is styrene. Normally, you can get some of those parts. Some of your stuff perhaps works with this. So I'm just gonna show you. I'm not gonna assemble that part right now, but I'm gonna show you with this little piece of sprue. How does that work? Okay. Meanwhile, Josh is gonna mix more. Oh yeah, now I see what he's doing.
I want to get all the cracks filled in.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you just here with this little piece of sprue. I'm gonna move Mr. Blue here out. This is styrene. You just apply a little bit of the glue. Just give it 2 seconds. Apply the other part of styrene. Give it 2 seconds. Gonna get real sticky right now. Now it's just melt the plastic. I'm gonna show you what I do.
It melts plastic?
Yeah, just a little bit. Perhaps you cannot see this on the camera, but it's.
We can make it. If you want to get closer to the camera,
I wanna get a real.
You can get closer to the camera and use this light to show.
Yeah, just when. Yeah, that's right.
You'll need the light, and I can get the zoom or the focus correct.
Oh, don't worry. It's only for showing the effect of this loose. At first, you have to hold it. You just take some 10 seconds. Right? That's okay. That's enough. I would rather see you working on that. It's gonna touch after a while. We're not gonna wait until that because, of course, any other chemical, it takes its time to sell. I just wanted to show you this one. You're gonna see how it gets stick. It's not really the plastic which is going out. It's sorry, it's not the glue which makes that effect. It's the plastic. Just try to stir it. Well, that's right. I think you cannot see the.
Just the lighting around it, and you might be able to see it. The lighting will do it for you.
Don't worry. Yeah, that's right. You can see there the plastic is already melt. It's just breaking apart. So do not worry. I recommend those for the Games Workshop or other steering models. Don't worry about that. I recommend here you can find the Tamiya over there. The running label, the one that I'm using is the running, so don't worry. Also, I think you can find running on the border. I don't know how deep are you in the States, but if you can find it or you're nearby the border, you can find it on the border of Texas and Los Angeles. I'm pretty sure about that. So now, and it will help a lot. If you cannot, even though assemble with that, I think Josh told me that we were on YouTube for the last videos.
Yeah, I upload the VODs on YouTube.
Okay, yeah. Last time we made the pinning for some models, for the assembly of some models. That will help a lot. I normally, for little pieces like Necrons or Eldar, I pin those pieces so they don't fall apart, and that will help also. I think you can find that useful. Okay, meanwhile Josh is with that. I'm gonna start with another color. We're not using the glaze anymore because I noticed that this blue color is so deep or so dark that we're not gonna use or need any other color for this one.
Don't you want to have a dark color for a base?
No, for me, no.
Why not?
Because I want to make it. Mine is gonna be clearer than yours. Your one is gonna be kinda like sea blue.
Okay.
So I want for mine. I want something lighter. So I'm not gonna use that deep dark color. Just finding.
How deep is your blue?
Yeah, something like that.
How deep is your blue?
Until now, I'm gonna look for. Much paint here. Okay, for next, I'm gonna do the metallics on the armor because we're working only on the bases. Remember, we're just trying the base colors on this miniature right now. I'm gonna apply a little bit of iron. For running is iron. For Vallejo, you're gonna find it like gunmetal. And for Citadel, you're gonna find it like lead belcher. Indeed, I have to admit, lead belcher is a pretty awesome color. I really love that color of Citadel. We always water down our paintings. Josh uses a syringe. I normally use only a drop with the brush. But remember, we always water down our paintings. Why? Because if we don't water down our paintings, it's gonna
Just
be
the paint. Water down our paints.
If we don't water down our paints, it gets, how do you call it?
It gets too thick.
Too thick. Yeah, that's right.
It's too thick and it covers too much space, and so if you make a mistake, it becomes permanent. Whereas if you are watered down, you can make happy little mistakes and then cover those mistakes up because you're just making layers.
And also, you can fill the gaps. In this case, this armor has all these details, these scales. If you cover it with thick paint, it can be even thick, so much thick or thicker than it can cover those details. You don't want that. In this case, these are big details, but let's talk about eyes or mouth, even noses. You can lose all those details. And, well, we spend a lot of money and time on our miniatures, so just let them waste because we didn't want to water down our paints, and we don't want that. Certainly, we don't want.
Especially if you're doing Warhammer stuff. That stuff is freaking expensive.
Yeah, but that is awesome.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. You want to definitely water down your Warhammer stuff as you're painting.
Yeah.
instead of just like trying to throw them on. I guess I can understand if you're doing like a whole like a platoon. And you're just like, okay, I'm just gonna slash this on and slop this on just to get it done with. I can kind of understand that if you're doing like a bloody platoon.
Which we do normally, but it doesn't matter.
For you, it does?
The basic troop on Warhammer or any other game, war game, is normally basic. But if you have your heroes, you want them to look awesome. They have to. It's like your RPG character. You want it to look like yeah, that is a hero, and it's kind of hard because you want it like, yeah, that is my hero. He has to look remarkable on the war zone.
On the game table.
Yeah, but the problem is that it's like you make him look like a bullet magnet. So it's like, no, I don't want that. Don't shoot at him just because he's pretty.
People like to shoot your characters if they're really looking nice.
Yeah, normally that is kind of a strategy also.
Like, oh, he spent a lot of time on that one. That must be an important one for him.
Yeah, that's right. Or
That's
normal, you
psychological warfare right there.
Yeah, that's right.
Psychological warfare 101. How to defeat your opponent. Take out his shiniest minis.
Yeah, that would be a Nork kind of strategy, but it works, man. With me. Or just take out a big miniature. It's kind of like, oh, that's a giant robot. It has to worth a lot of points or has to do a lot of damage. Meanwhile, you're going all the way around to other key miniatures. Okay, this is, yeah, that's right. Ah, I'm starting to even more this miniature. I love when I find the details and like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get there. Okay. I'm covering this armor. Right. Do not worry too much about this. I'm just making the metallics. I'm just making the base colors, remember. I'm not doing this axe right away because I have to correct this axe. I didn't do it this time because we were into a rush. But I'm gonna we show how to correct this kind of stuff in the last session with hot water and cold water.
Yeah, pretty much basically you just get like steaming or really hot water, almost boiling hot water, and then you add and you dump it in there for a few seconds, and you put it in freezing cold water and hold it in the shape you want it to stay in, and that is how you reshape your miniatures. Mine still bent back a little bit.
Yeah, we told that about. We said that last time. We do it, and we have to give it some time because in normal it tries to go back
To the original
to
shape.
the original shape. Yeah, right.
Is your love of you, my many? I'm gonna make him one happy, maybe grumpy frost giant. He's definitely gonna be kicking some asses.
Indeed, I hope so.
Maybe not in the same way he does in Warhammer. This guy is just gonna. Actually, I don't even know how Warhammer works. I've never played it. I'll have to come by your shop sometime and you have to give me an introduction.
Yes, of course. Be glad to. There's also Warhammer RPG.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, that's right. It's pretty good because the stories are so awesome. Indeed, I love the novels. They're great.
I thought that Warhammer was just it wasn't no RPG really. It's all battle strategy and figuring out how to hit and how to strike.
No, indeed, we have RPG. Can be a character on the 41st millennium where there's only war.
Okay.
Also, right? Yeah.
But do you get to roleplay the characters, or do they just
No,
battling each other?
you get to role play the characters. In this case, there are three. I think there are four now, but normally it was Road Trader,
I think I'm ready.
which okay. So now you water down that paint. Show us your work before you start, so they can see how you fill up the gaps.
Well, I already did show that.
So they saw you doing that. He's watering
much?
down his.
3 drops.
Yeah, that's right.
Now it's gonna be a wash, right?
Kinda. Don't worry, it's gonna be nice. All right.
Dry up,
Mhm.
so we don't
Yeah, so it doesn't get sticky all over the place.
sticky or dry up. There we go.
Yeah, don't worry
Okay.
about the dry.
And what brush would you recommend I use?
You're gonna use a middle one. In this case, the bigger one is gonna be the correct because you're doing the base coat. You want to cover all the surface
This
at
one.
once. No, this one, the round one.
This one is still hard from last time. It
Yeah.
had a wash on it. Is that going to be okay? Or do I need to re-rinse it and rewash it?
You're gonna getting it soft by put it in water before you take any paint. You're gonna drown it in water.
There she is. But I had another water thing here.
Not today.
I did.
Yeah, I didn't saw it.
Actually, behind the computer, maybe.
Perhaps.
Or,
Well,
it's, still
don't
in the,
worry.
or it's still in the sink.
Well, don't worry. Well, you just wear it down, take out the excess, and now you can start with your paintings. Okay. Yeah, you can play some of the characters in the 41st millennium. But yeah, also there's role playing, fantasy role playing for Warhammer. I have to admit, I don't like the system of role playing games on Warhammer. I
Why
think
not?
it's too complicated. But because of the dices and the rules are good, but the playing system I don't like. But you can make some adjustments if you have run chronicles or campaigns on other kind of games. You can make your adjustments.
Choose the shiny one.
Yeah, that's right.
What's your strategy to win in Warhammer?
What strategy? What
No,
strategy?
I'm asking him on the viewer. He's been to all of our shows actually. Iluvenen. Iluvenen, what's your strategy for winning Warhammer? Is it the same as our friend here, Hill, who just shoots the shiny one, or do you have a different strategy?
No, I pull out a shiny one for them to shoot.
Ah, you use it as a distraction tool.
Yeah, that's right. That is a bullet magnet, a distraction. In the case of Necrons, you only can shoot the shiny one. They are all metallics.
Oh, okay.
But in case of Necrons, I don't know. Our fellow here is gonna tell us. But normally it's kind of like for many people, Necrons who they don't. For many people who doesn't know how to play Necrons, they only like to. I go forward, I die, then I go back to life, and I keep killing. But Necrons have a lot of strategy on them. That is only when you start. Okay. You all can see the
Paint over
dark
the
silver ones. Yeah, they're right. The dark silver ones that I'm doing here. I'm not touching the other axe because, as I said, I want to correct the axe in hot water before that. But not worry. You're gonna see that next week. I'm gonna do this also. Prepare more paint. Again, I'm gonna show you here. 2 drops. Normally, don't let it fall down. If you want to just put the flask or the pot against your palette, it is okay. Do not worry. Or if you're using Citadel, you just take the amount necessary on your from your pot and apply it to your palette. And normally, Josh uses his syringe. I just take a drop from here and just let it fall to the paintings. That's the way I water down. It doesn't matter how do you do it. Do it. Paint bracelet. Looks like kinda magical bracelet because it has some runic scripture, or it's kinda like fire, but I assume it's magical because of the shape. And if it's not magical, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna paint it like that. So
It's gonna be magical, dang it.
yeah,
Oh, my minis are magical!
magical, I said. But sir, it doesn't have a magical, I said.
Do you see the runes? Can you read the runes? No, because they're magical!
Alright. Yeah, that's nice. So how do you feel now that you're painting another miniature?
It feels good to be painted again.
Nice.
I can say that this. Well, I don't mind the sculpting, but getting all the mold lines off and everything can be a bit annoying when I just really want to freaking paint.
Yeah, that's right. You can go straight to the paintings. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't. But as I said, sometimes we're eager to play with our characters. That is nice, that is fine. Do it. The thing is that you enjoy it, that you play. That's how we started, so you can make the improvements on the way.
You need this guy? I bet you do, yeah.
No, take it, don't worry. They can see what I'm doing without it, so don't worry.
No, it's kind of dark over here.
Yeah?
Yep. I'm closer to the light.
Okay.
I need to buy a second one of these. Can't wait for that first paycheck of mine to come in next month. I'm going to be getting some new lighting and perhaps some new microphones if it's necessary. Right now, I'm not sure how it's going to be for when I get my new my players coming in.
Okay.
In this new room. This is the new studio, pretty much.
Indeed.
And I'll be changing everything up for the live game.
I'm gonna take your brown on.
Is it focused? So?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Let me see if I can make it better focus. That didn't work.
So we still have 15 minutes. What do? Is there any question? Is there any doubts? Just let us know. Yeah. Also, remember, if you want us to paint something or want some advice,
if you have any requests about how to paint something, I might have the miniature because I have a whole nice collection I've been collecting, waiting to be painted.
And do not worry, perhaps we don't have the exact same miniature, even though you ask. We can show you with another miniature relative. I know perhaps our dwarf ain't your dwarf, but definitely we can paint a dwarf or a necro in this case. Can do also that. Space Marines, dragoons, creatures, we're also gonna start with the dungeon. There are plenty of suggestions about dungeons. We're gonna start with one of those. Don't worry.
How to paint a dungeon?
Yeah, indeed.
Oh,
There's
that's going to
a
be an exciting class.
yeah. We're gonna try to do that on the way. Indeed, what I'm planning to do, and I was telling Josh last time, but we didn't spoke too much about that. It's about painting. I'm gonna start with the project of a tavern. Tavern, is that what it's called?
Tavern, yep, that's right.
So yeah, we're gonna paint a complete tavern. Okay, I want you to see this one. I made a mistake here on this arm, and Josh also. I'm gonna get my brush all wet down, and I'm gonna take all the excess, and I'm gonna take out that paint that I put wrong. I'm gonna get again the excess, and I'm gonna take that paint away before it gets dry.
I do something different. I use a Q-tip.
Yeah.
I wet down a Q-tip to when I make a mistake. I get my happy little Q-tip and I get it wet, a little wet on the end, and I rub it down. Not hard because it will get all the other paint away.
Yeah, right.
But that's the way I handle that kind of issue.
Yeah, and that helps. But when the Q-tip is too big for the area, well, use your brush. Don't worry about it. Okay. So, well, you just take your time and do not worry. We'll get your doubts, perhaps not all on the next session.
The shiny one, okay. I saw a comment. Oh, guess not. So, if you guys are interested in what other streams I'm running coming up, this Wednesday I believe it's going to be another Call of Cthulhu. Wednesday from 2 to 6 p.m. And then this Sunday coming up is my big game. I've been preparing 2 months for this, and so it's a huge thing for me at least. But it is the home game that I play here, and I run live. It's live play home game with all my friends from Mexico, here in Mexico City, and we've been playing for over a year now. And I have a lot of big story things happening, including with giants. One of the reasons why I've been getting so many, I've been collecting giants for a while because I plan on running Storm King Thunder, but I'm going to be modding it like crazy to, yeah, it's called Not Another TPK. I started last season. We were just doing Lost Mine of Phandelver because it was my first time DMing. And for several of the group, it was their first time as well. So we started with that to learn how to play. And as I got more comfortable, yes, Sunday from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. And that game is going to be, I'm super excited for that because I will be prepared. I have about 6 different storylines prepared, story arcs, that game. And it's all based on the character's background, but then also a couple just bigger story arcs that don't even relate to them. So pretty much they can follow their own thing. Like, I want to follow my own story and figure out where I come from kind of thing. Or, oh my god, the world's ending, but you know what? I'm still going to take care of my thing. So pretty much just the same idea that I like to make a sandbox. They can literally go anywhere in the world in my game. Anywhere. And I just try to prepare for it and predict what they're going to do. I'm pretty good at that usually.
Well, that helps.
But sometimes, of course, they can surprise me, and then I'm like, ah, damn it. But for the most part, I'm able to predict it. I use their storylines, and oftentimes they're just sometimes really nice to me too, because they know I prepare something a lot. They're just gonna run with it and see what happens. They're like, oh, Josh prepared a big boss. We probably shouldn't run away from this thing. And that's just because they like me, I guess.
Perhaps.
But then there's
Yeah,
other
indeed, I
times,
cannot find another reason.
other times they just destroy my whole plan. Like they just killed my big bad boss. I was not planning. I was planning on making him the big bad boss this time. No, they killed him, and so now I'm expecting them. In the last session, they killed him, and he was Hamun Coast. Now I'm expecting them to go to his base, which used to be their base, and he took
Oh,
it
yeah.
over. That's why they hated him. He made a magic university at this manor, and now I think they're going to be going back to that base where there's a bunch of university students. But one of the players who had left my group was studying at that university, so it'll be interesting how he might come into play this time because he hasn't played for about 5 months in our group because he was studying his master's,
Okay.
and so he took a break.
Now he's back.
I don't know about that yet, but it'll be interesting to see. Well, the players don't know, but yes, he's coming back. Nobody knows it. That's a big surprise. So if you're watching today, which is just our friend here. Oh, it's also now with sound. Excellent. I'm so sorry that I did not have captions. I felt so embarrassed. Right now, we're talking about this coming Sunday's game, and I'm giving some secret spoilers that only you following this will know. Nobody else knows it, not even the players. But we had a player that started with us a long time ago who was a necromancer. Speak of the devil.
Yeah.
And he he was studying his master's, so he said, Josh, I have to take a break. And it came at the perfect time. The big bad guy opened a university for magic users, and he happened to be a red wizard as well. So perfect for our character to learn more necromancy magic and actually become useful, because I'm not gonna lie, a lot of times it seemed this guy was kind of useless in fights. He just didn't know how to fight. Well, now he's going to be a level 6 necromancer that's able to fly.
Who doesn't need to fight?
That's able to fly, able to raise dead.
Yeah.
And the players, of course, the players are playing good characters, so they don't like necromancers, but they're just going to have to learn how to live with this guy. Now, is this leather underneath, or am I painting this right?
No. Well, that is his skin.
It is?
But I painted as leather underneath because I didn't like the way it looked.
The way
like.
it comes up? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a piece of leather covered in leather stripes.
All right, we'll try to do it like that.
Indeed, you can see that this giant is or a hero or a royalty among giants, because he has a lot of accessories like the bracelets that I mentioned before. Don't mind about the axes. The bracelets are identical, which it doesn't. It means that it's they are made for him specifically. Not just like a giant that found something and made a bracelet of it. They match, so you can say that it's a special work for him. So
I agree. I think this he's going to be
a royalty or a hero. I don't know.
in my game. I'm going to have the Giants in this new season. So let me go ahead and talk a little bit about this new season. I'm
Please.
so excited. We finished off last season. If you didn't watch it, I would definitely go to YouTube and check it out. But we finished off the last season with them opening up a portal, trusting this one guy who is a half spider, half person, half man. I forget the name of that right now. A Drider. And they trusted him. He could talk, which was really rare. And they gave him the key. He opened a portal to Minzobaranzan and let his whole clan run through the portal. So now the group is facing a whole family of drow and their elite warriors as they are running through the portal in a cave.
Okay, that sounds like.
And most of them are at half health or maybe just 10 maximum health right now. So most of them are in dire shape. And that's how we left. And I don't know if they're going to run. They're going to try to say, screw it, not another TPK, let's fight them all, and battle to the last. My guess is they've learned their lessons a lot, and they're going to try to fight, or they're going to try to run.
Uh,
But they're going to enter a world that's quite different than when they left, because the last place they were at was Neverwinter, and they were attacked by assassins, and 2 guards were killed during this attack. Yet they ran, leaving the guards in their wake. They ran from the city and didn't stop for the gate guard to like let them through. They just burst through the guards. The guards shot at them, and everybody knows who they are because one of them worked for the guard. So now they're going to be wanted by everybody pretty much, especially by Lord Neverember. We're in the Fey room. They're going to be wanted by Lord Neverember because one of them is apparently claiming to be the offspring of the late Neverembers and the Alagandar clan, or Alagandar family, who died during the eruption of Mount Hotanau. So she was able to scam her way into getting the papers that looked completely legit because she rolled so high. And now, Lord Neverember doesn't want to lose his power. He's put all of his money, all of his time into becoming the Lord Neverember. And if some jumpity upstart person comes in and tries to take it all from him, well, he's not going to take too kindly to that. So he's head of the Lord's Alliance as well. When they come out, they're going to find that the world's a little bit hostile to them because they're wanted. So I'm curious what's going to happen. We're going to be introducing an NPC that's kind of in thanks, or kind of how do you say it? There's a player that died a while ago. A role player who died, and his mother started a thing saying, "Put my son into into the games." We're going to be doing that and putting him as an NPC who will be helping the group survive as they can. Giants, I'm going to be doing some things from Lord Storm King Thunder as well, but completely changed. It'll be very different. There's a possibility that there will be Minotaurs as well. Oh, what did you do? What did you do exactly?
what, with this miniature?
Geek Girl. I'm not sure if she's talking about the miniature or she's talking about the story.
Well, about the story, you'll have to see the next session of the role-playing game, because
I have no idea what they're going to do, honestly.
indeed that is the thing, because we're not gonna find out until that happens.
I just have planned out the first part of it. I know exactly what's going to happen at the very opening setting scene. It's going to be like kind of like a movie setting scene where like everybody's going to be watching and be like, "Holy crap!" And then there's going to be a lot of cheering and stuff like that, because that's when our guest player is going to be probably showing up. And it's going to be insane. I just have to get all the terrain and everything else prepared for it, so it looks really nice.
We're gonna work on that also. Well, I just finished up the
You paint a lot faster than I do. Let's see.
Part of the base colors. I only paint the dark silver ones on the armor, the bluish part of the skin that is shown, and also a little bit of brown on the leather. Also, do not worry, if you want to, or you want to advance, you can paint what is gonna be.
She's already painted this
gold.
one.
Huh?
She's already painted this miniature.
Yeah.
What color did you paint yours?
Why don't you show us?
Well, she won't be able to show us.
Yeah,
on the
please.
chat.
That will be no here.
But if you'd like to post it on Twitter, you can post it on Twitter, and I would love to see what you got.
Yeah, please.
We'll see that.
That will be great.
Maybe this thing will actually work now. I'm gonna check the captions again and see if they work this time.
Yes, time? No, I don't think so. Well, we're about to finish right now.
I know.
But please, let's take a look.
No, something's wrong.
No?
Blocking. It's pretty much something's blocking the notification.
Yeah.
I will tweet it to you. I would love that.
Yeah, please.
And if you have any questions or any comments about what you'd like to see, or maybe for us to try with this miniature, go ahead and do that, and we can answer it in the next stream.
Yeah.
My guy, of course, I'm a lot slower when I paint, but that's because I was taking a long time to sculpt as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking I kind of like it. I'm working on it. I think I'm gonna have to work on it more a little bit. Um, some of the other miniatures I'm working on right now that I'd like to get finished. I'm planning on working on
Minotaur.
this guy. This is going to be one of our player characters in coming up Sunday's game. So I'm going to be painting this Necromancer with a base color of purple, black, and red.
That sounds nice.
Purple, black, and red. He's a Necromancer. So I'll be painting this Nolzur. Let me go ahead and zoom it so you can actually focus it. So this is the guy we're going to be painting here.
From WizKids, right?
Yeah, from Nolzur's WizKids, one of the human wizards.
That's a pretty good miniature.
I think it's a nice one.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be painting him. And he's, well, I couldn't find, it's really frustrating for me because every wizard that I found has a bloody beard.
Yeah, right.
I always thought about trying to cut him off, but then it just would look weird. I would really love to have a wizard that doesn't have a beard, like a young wizard or an elven wizard, which is what our character is. Our character is an elven wizard, and so it just doesn't fit. And look at the size difference. I love the size
the
comparison.
Yeah, that's right.
That Nolzur's has. It's not the same as the WizKids, for sure. The size is just incredible. They can really kick, like, you know, Game of Thrones, the giant was just kicking as he fought.
Yeah,
that was his main way of kicking. It was sweeping with big weapons and kicking.
With a big
I love that idea. I really liked it. I'm really loving the Nolzur's line. People complain about them a lot because they're pre-primed, but for me, and they say, oh, they don't have good details. For me, I think they have great details.
They have great details.
Reaper, in comparison, I think sometimes lacks some details. And sometimes for me, it's, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's harder to paint because I found that they paint pretty well and the primer comes on pretty well. So it's kind of a mix. Like I have some great Reaper miniatures as well. I'm really excited about painting this girl. We primed her in our last show.
Yeah. Ow.
But I'm not making her a focus right now because really, she's
so gorgeous. Yeah.
She's gorgeous, but she's not. I don't have a tiefling yet for my game. Although my girlfriend might be playing soon. She's gonna be playing a tiefling, so maybe she'll paint. I'll let her paint this one. My girlfriend is just learning how to paint as well, but with another in a class at another game store. Because well, she works right now. Otherwise, I'm sure she'd be joining us too. But yeah, once you prime this one, it's such a gorgeous one. My favorite miniatures line for so far that I found would have to be Zealot Miniatures, which is I'm trying to do a giveaway for them, but I need more than 2 viewers, of course, because one of the viewers is me. And that just doesn't seem like a good giveaway if it's only one person viewing. So I'm hoping to get more publicity. And when I get 10 viewers or 15 viewers, I will be doing the giveaway. But this is an example of a Zealot miniature sculpt. And the sculpts are just so detailed. Like really incredibly detailed.
Pretty good. They're a little expensive, but they're pretty good.
Oh, I have 3 now. Hello, Lord Goomba. Goomba, it's good to see you. Yeah.
Hi.
That's why I've partnered up with Zealot Miniatures. Pretty much, I was like, you know, I should just ask them if maybe they'd like to partner up. I've bought their whole line of Minotaurs in the last Kickstarter. Not the whole one, but almost the whole line, which, well, I'm still paying back in credit card. And yeah, I think if I can give away, I think this would be a great giveaway. It would be a huge giveaway because these things cost $23 per miniature.
Per miniature.
And that's for these small ones. These are considered small ones, but the matron mother is like almost $30, I think. And I didn't care at the time because I just really wanted to get
those miniatures. Yeah, and they worked it.
I mean, I just had a story. I'm planning on writing a whole module based around these minotaurs.
And I have to say, and I've seen a lot of miniatures. They're pretty good.
I guess you're from Geek Girl. You must be from the UK then. Yeah, I wish they weren't from the UK because, well, the shipping costs are killer, especially coming to Mexico.
Indeed.
But everything's cost expensively is more expensive coming to Mexico. But you can see the details now. Like if you look here, I'm gonna get even closer. You can see the details in the hair, the muscles. This is one that the Hill's been painting.
And I'm gonna try to finish up that one into next session. Sorry.
But yeah, the Incredibles, the details are just super incredible to me. I'm blown away every time I see these. You can see the skulls.
The skulls, the necklaces, the expression. I really love the expression of those miniatures.
The undead one, I have 2 of the undead ones, and I'm not sure how to do their skin yet, but it's going to be so sweet when we can get started. Just be careful when you're taking them apart. The undead ones are really fragile because they have a lot of pointy ends that you think might be, oh, you're supposed to cut this off? No, that's the spear end. So be careful you're not cutting off or breaking off an accident any of the kind of small points, because a lot of those points are just actually the ends of the spears, and then you have to try to figure either glue them on or just forget about them and say they got broken off or something. That's something to keep in mind with that one, or well, definitely that one, because they have a lot of spear points coming out. Like there's a lot of pieces, so make sure you're using your baggie so you don't lose those pieces.
Yeah, all right.
And
we also talked about how to cut and clean those little pieces in last time. Yeah,
cutting the pieces with holding both ends, unlike what I do, where I just like yeah, and they will fly.
And they fly away.
They'll
get
fly
lost
and
forever in
break
the warp.
something or get lost somewhere. A Nordic green, a necrotic green with a brown and a gray to get the skin right.
All right.
What do you think, Hill? I mean, you're the professional. I know nothing about
that. That would be
paces.
great. No, yeah, we're gonna try it on some zombies. That technique. Yeah, indeed. Normally, dead meat will look exactly like that. A little skin, but underneath you can use some green and some brown for the blood that is already glowed. So yeah, we can try. Definitely, we can try that.
So we're doing something a little bit different with these miniatures. If you can see, maybe a brown wash.
Yeah, we're gonna use that definitely.
No, for her, she talked about her undead minotaur.
Oh yeah, that's right, definitely. There's a lot of dead. How can we say it? Finish or dead details. It depends of how much is the meat rotten. How much has it been dead?
How long has it been dead? Yeah.
How long has it been dead? And it depends a lot of the environment. If it's so wet, it's definitely gonna look like bluish green. If it's so dry, it's gonna look kind of like dirty sand and a little bit of red. So it really depends on that. Gray, green, a little bit bluish, even a little bit purple. It comes out from a wet environment. So yeah, we can try all kind of that ones on that. If you have some zombies, I have some zombies.
I have zombies, but I think we're gonna wait on doing that one unless you'd like to do it with us. If you'd like to do it with us, big girl, right. We could start working on that zombie while we wait for the giants to dry. We could start working on that zombie. I could start trying to get it cleaned up. I have 2 zombies, so it would be perfect for us to work on.
Or something else. We can work on something else. Indeed, I have some miniatures that are waiting for painting. So yeah.
All right, excellent. Thank you for hosting us, Lord Gasumba. If you guys aren't following, or if you have a Amazon Prime, you can subscribe for free. Once I get to 10 followers or 10 new subscribers, I'm going to be doing the giveaway. Or, of course, if I get 15 viewers, it's at one time. So once I get to those, we're going to be doing a giveaway for Zealot Miniature, and it can go as long as it has to go to get 10 subscribers. Because once I get 10 subscribers, that means I can cover the cost it needs to do for, of course, getting everything done with the miniature. And yes, if you'd like to, I will start prepping. I can start prepping the undead minotaur. I have 2 of them, so we both can work on them at the same time.
Yeah.
and you can see two different styles and how we're doing that. And I'll have Hill instruct me and you of how to paint it in a way that you mentioned with the common colors. If you have some kind of a skin color you'd like to look at, I'm thinking my undead will be some necrotic, but also some almost ghostly white. Because I'm thinking the skin will be turning white, wouldn't it? Or would it be turning black?
If it is so hot or dry environment, yeah, it definitely is gonna look kind of like white. Yeah, in time.
So it's going to be definitely an interesting way of the things. This Minotaur is incredible. As she's talking, it has spikes coming out of it, spears coming pointed ends out of it. It has so many pieces just because you're supposed to attach the spears coming out of his body. It's been stabbed so many times.
Yep.
So, all right, you can catch us next week from 10 to 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. I don't know what time that is in London time. I believe you guys are here early evening right now.
Yeah, about 6 o'clock. About 6 in the evening, yeah.
So I hope to see you guys next week. And let's go ahead and keep sharing this stream so we can get to those 15 viewers or 10 subscribers. Once we hit that, we are doing the giveaway. I'm thinking about doing another giveaway just for fun, and people have to predict how many times did Hill say "Don't worry." 7:15 here. All right, so pretty much it's about 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock for them. 4 to 7 p.m. Just a really good time for UK watchers. All right, yes, definitely. We're going to get. I'm going to start preparing those mold lines and everything else for the undead minotaurs, and we will start working on that next time while we're working on this giant.
Yeah. So please follow us next week. And any doubts, any questions, we want to try to ask. Eventually, remember, we're working on one project at a time. So if you want to ask a question or want to see us painting something special or specific, yes, please go ahead and ask for it.
Let me know if there's any way I can help you get there to your target. Well, to the target, pretty much the way to do it is you can gift subscriptions. You can get more people to watch.
Yeah.
I think the more people to watch, the people will actually like the show. I mean, that's my hope, of course. They like the show and they want to subscribe. And it's like, oh, this is a great show. I want to learn more about painting. The whole idea was to have a free painting class for people to watch.
Yeah.
And, of course, subscribing is not mandatory, but that's the way I can give away miniatures.
Yep.
Right
something
now,
else.
Right now we're doing Zealot miniatures, but I also have a sponsorship working with Atlantis Miniatures. Atlantis Miniatures is another incredible miniature company, and they are currently sending some miniatures my way for us to paint live and then give away. So that will be coming later, and I'm super excited about those. But that's going to be later in the stream, probably in 1 month or two, because it takes a while to get to Mexico. And no problem, Lord Kasumas. Thank you for stopping by. It's really awesome to have you here.
And it's great that you want to help.
UK, yeah. Well, they're surprising me with what miniatures they're sending me. So unfortunately, I can't advertise ahead of time. Like, oh, I'm giving away this. They're gonna surprise me. And he's also super excited to be able to paint some of them too.
Oh yeah.
I saw their quality, and I sent a message, and they said, you know, we saw your stuff. We'd like to see what you could do with our stuff.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys enjoyed the day. Just to talk about what we covered today. We did assembly, how to cover up those cracks with resin, and also how to mold with resin and create your own kind of a modified, unique miniatures. We are creating hair on the back of our giants because we think they should have a lot of hair since they had a huge beard.
Yeah. I started with the basic colors. Do not worry about that. Josh is gonna.
I'm gonna keep working on this, I think.
Yeah, indeed.
I have a quick question though. What do you think should go in these holes here in the mask? Is that his skin, or is that gonna be just black, dark spaces?
For me, it's leather. Which ones? Just show it.
The eye holes and the ear holes.
Oh yeah.
Of the skull. What do you think we should put there? Blackness, like shadows?
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely use blackness there.
All right. Well, I think that's all for today. Let's go ahead and see who else is on right now that we can raid. and let them know that Winged Horizon has sent you. Let's see. Bob Ross is playing now. Scraticus is a good one. A Greyhawk channel. We're going to jump into the Greyhawk channel because they are one of our patrons and they are amazing. So let's go ahead and say hello to the Greyhawk channel. Let's see here.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to my stream and let's raid. Raid the, oh, I need to put at the Greyhawk channel. All right, guys, let's go ahead and raid the Greyhawk channel. Let them know that we're coming. And thank you so much. You guys are amazing.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Raid. Oh, hello, Lee. Wow, everybody's dropping in today. So it's good to see you. This is Hill. I'm Josh. And until next Monday, unless you want to stop by on Wednesday to see Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah.
And it's grading now. New subscriber. We have a new subscriber. Woohoo! Recent follower, Voodoo Von Acid.
Yeah.
We need to make that smaller. We are done.
Deja guardar esto. Let me parse this. So how is Monse with her miniature? She's done some improvements.
Well, we haven't had time to go back to paint yet.
Oh.